Hi everyone, welcome to practice. And the class today we're gonna cover a really nice and fun asana. It's called Bakasana, crow pose. And usually this is the first arm balance that you attempt in a yoga practice. It is not a difficult pose, and sometimes we think we need a lot of strength to do that, but if you really engage the body the way you have to, the way you're supposed to, you see that it is not that challenging. A big hindrance to get into this pose is not really the strength, but it's actually the fear of falling, the fear of hitting the face on the floor. So we're gonna work on what you can do to address this fear, things that you can do, props that you can use. And then if you already have a good crow, you have a good Bakasana, then I'm also going to show some fun variations, how to progress, how to make the pose a little bit more challenging and more advanced for you. So as is an arm balance, we really need to make sure that our wrists are really warmed up before the practice to prevent injury. So we're gonna work also a lot with the wrists today. So just find a comfortable seated posture, close your eyes, take a few breaths. Grounding and centering yourselves here. Some deep, long breaths with a straight spine. Lift the shoulders and then roll them back and down. Notice how your shoulder blades, as you do this movement, go down towards the hips. And keep the shoulder blades connected. We're going to move like this one more time, and I really want you to pay attention what happens around your core area, around your oblique muscles, as we move the shoulders. So lift the shoulders up, inhale. As you exhale, focus on your shoulder blades. Feel them moving down towards the hips and notice what's happening in your core. It is all connected. We're going to do this again, and in this third time we are going to add a pelvic floor activation. So as you move the shoulder blades down, lift the pelvic floor muscles up and your belly button up. So if you're familiar with bandhas, as we roll the shoulders down, we are going to engage Mula Bandha and Uddiyana Bandha at the same time, and everything is going to meet in the center around the belly button here. Yeah, so take a deep breath in, roll the shoulders back, and as you exhale, drop the shoulder blades, lift the pelvic floor, lift the belly button. And feel how your center here now is very compact. You're still pressing the shoulder blades down. And release. Very good. We come to tabletop, so bring the hands to the front, swing the legs back. Find your tabletop position. And we're going to warm up the wrists a little bit. So from here, we're going to turn the hands freestyle in all directions that you can think of. So move the hands all directions, mindfully, slowly. And as you move the hands like this, I want you to pay attention. The moment that one hand lifts off the floor, the feeling that you have on the opposite side, the side that is actually being supporting the weight. So you're probably going to notice that when you lift one hand off the floor and then you shift the weight to the other side, there's a little activation here on your armpit. Really notice. You can keep the hands forward for now and just go from one side to another. See if you can feel the little activation around your armpit. We're going to access that in the arm balance. And then turn the fingertips back. Lean back, stretch the front of the arms. Come back up. Bring the fingertips forward. Make sure now the wrist is aligned with the shoulders, and we're going to swing back and forth here with the arms extended but not hyperextended. So give it a micro bend if you're locking the elbows, and swing back and forth, pressing the whole palm on the floor. Make sure that your tailbone is not sticking out. Keep the belly contracted. And as you swing forward, so you see that there is a shift a little bit on the point of balance because your chest is coming ahead of the wrists. And you're going to feel more weight here on your fingertips, so really press the fingertips on the floor. You can even lift the middle knuckles of your fingers as long as your palm stays flat on the floor. So don't lift it like this. Good. And slowly sit back onto your heels. Rotate the wrists both ways. Good. Shake the hands. Interlace the fingertips, keep the palms together, and just rotate here gently. Keep the elbows relaxed, keep the shoulders relaxed. And the other way around. And release, shake the hands. We're going to come back here to the front. Setting up again for tabletop. We're going to do that same swinging motion that we were doing before, but this time we're going to bend the elbows. If you want a little visual aid, you can have a block or a book or whatever object a little bit ahead of your hand. So if you place the hands here when the wrist is under the shoulders, so the block will be almost in line here with the end of the fingertips. So we're going to shift the weight forward, but this time we're going to bend the elbows. But the biceps have to be facing forward. If you have the elbows, like the eye of the elbows here, looking towards each other, the moment that you bend, they're going to go out, and we don't want this to happen, yeah, because this can cause problems with your shoulder later on. So we want to rotate the elbows, so the back of the elbows are facing the back. So as you bend, the elbows stay close to the body. Now, if you try to do this and your chest is in between your shoulders, you're not going to be able to go down. You're not going to be able to bend the elbows. It's going to be very difficult. You're going to tense up all over here. So this is why it's very important that the weight needs to shift to the front. The point of balance needs to come to the front, to the chest. And this is why this block is here, because we're going to try to place the chest either touching the block. If it doesn't touch, it doesn't matter. It can stay a little bit higher like this. But the important thing is that the chest comes on top of the block. So take a deep breath in, inhale. As you exhale, keep the core engaged. Lean forward, shift the weight forward, and come up. Exhale, lean forward, and come up. You might feel on your fingertips, so really press the fingertips down onto the floor and come up. If you want, you can also lift the feet off the floor. This will make it a little bit easier. And come up. And come up. Yeah. Do it a few more times. If you want, pause the video. And then you're going to start feeling the arms here burning, and we are developing strength on our triceps and also strength on the chest muscles and on the shoulder blade muscles. Make sure when you come down first that the shoulders are not coming here. So it's that same action from the warm-up, pressing the shoulder blades down towards the hips. And also make sure that you don't round here too much. Keep the chest open as you come forward and push it back. Yeah? So you can practice like this a few times with the knees on the floor. If you feel strong, if you have a little bit more energy in you, or if you want to do a more advanced practice, you're going to practice this coming from plank, and then you realize that we are actually doing Chaturanga. So you set up exactly the same way with the block in the same place, but instead of starting from tabletop, you're going to start from plank. So extend the legs up, inhale, exhale, shift forward, Chaturanga. Push it up, Chaturanga. If it's too much to push it up, you can come down, come to the knees, and push it up. Yeah? And the last thing to notice here is that I am not looking down completely. I am looking a little bit ahead of my mat. So my neck and my head they don't collapse like that. Yeah? So you look a little bit ahead as you come down. And up. Down. And up. Yeah? If you want to pause the video, practice this maybe 5, even 10 times if you can. This is going to really bring the arm strength. And then when you're done, come into Child's Pose. You can bring the arms behind. Take a few breaths here. Relax the shoulders, relax the arms. And then extend your arms forward. Press the hands here. Lift the elbows off the floor. Look at your hands. Make sure that they are shoulder distance apart. Spread the fingertips wide. Come up to your knees. Tuck the tailbone. We're going to come into downward facing dog. Take a couple of breaths in downward dog. And then take your heels off the floor. Keep the tailbone up. Look towards your hands. And we're going to walk towards the hands here. Walk. Walk. Pressing the hands firmly on the floor. If you lose here the contact, then you can come down, bend the knees, but keep pressing the hands. And then we come back. Back, back, back. Into downward dog. And we walk forward. Forward. Feel the weight shifting to the hands here. And come back. One more time. Lift the heels off the floor. Look at the hands. Walk. Walk. Feel the weight shifting to the hands. Bend the knees if you need to. When you arrive here, bend the knees. Press the hands firmly on the floor. Drop the head. Take a deep breath in. Press the hands. And exhale, release. You can grab hold of the elbows. If you have space at the back of your legs, you can extend the legs completely. Just make sure that you bring some weight to the front of the feet. And relax here. Inhale. Place the hands on the floor. Come halfway lift. Exhale, stay there. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale. We're going to do a very quick standing sequence to prepare the body for the arm balance. Now we use the arms quite a lot. We're going to work on hip flexor. There are also some twists to loosen up the torso here. So inhale. Find your Tadasana. Exhale. Your next inhale, bend the knees, lift the arms up. Utkatasana. Exhale, fall forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, walk step or jump back into Chaturanga. Hold your Chaturanga here. If it's too much, place the knees on the floor. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Hold here. It is said that if we can do a proper Chaturanga, it means that we have enough strength for crawl, for arm balance. So if you manage to have that little hold that we just did, you're in the right place. So inhale, bring the right foot in between the hands and drop the knee to the floor. Come up to the knee here. Place the hands onto the chest. You can untuck the back toe. Inhale. Exhale, we come to side twist. So place the left elbow onto the right knee. Look up towards the ceiling. If you want to make this pose a little bit more challenging, then tuck the toes and take the knees off the floor. And twist. If you're taking the knees off the floor, the back leg has to be completely straight. Exhale, look down, place the knees down, place the hands framing the foot, send the right leg back, come into Chaturanga, see if you can get that little hold here. Looking a little bit ahead on the mat. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, left foot forward. Place the knee on the floor. Come up, hands to the chest. Inhale. Exhale, we're going to twist to the other side. Place the elbow. Twist. If you did it on your right side, you can do on this one as well. Take the knee off the floor. Just make sure that the legs are completely straight. Sorry, the back leg's completely straight. Pressing the palms. Exhale, look down, frame the foot, knee on the floor. We're going to send the left leg back, and again, down into Chaturanga. Hold it here if you can. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. And then slowly walk the feet forward. And then when you're close to the hands, open the feet a little bit wide than hip distance, maybe mat distance apart. Send the toes out and squat here into Malasana, bringing the elbows, the arms against the knees. Hands onto the chest, pressing the knees back. Straight spine. You can close your eyes, take a couple of breaths. Very good. And now we're going to go into Bakasana. So I will show you a couple of ways to enter Bakasana. This is one of them. It's coming from Malasana, and it means that in this version, your knees are outside of your arms, and you have to really squeeze the knees against the arms. Some people find this easier, some people find it a little bit more difficult. So I'm going to show without the props first. So you bring the arms in front of you, making sure that your elbows, if you bend, the elbows are going back and not to the side. If they go to the side, you're going to find it really difficult to lift. And we're going to create a pendulum here, moving back and forth. Make sure that you're managing to send your heels, your hips, up. So if you keep the hips down here on the floor, you're never going to lift. So the hips, they have to come up. Yeah? So you press the hands, keep squeezing the knees, lift the hips, come off the soles of the foot and down. Forward and down. Just keep doing this motion a few times. Feel the shift of the point of balance going forward. And notice that I'm not looking down, because if I'm here, the weight of my head is actually bringing me down to the floor. And if I take the foot off the floor, I might topple forward. So keep looking ahead. Eventually, you might be able to take one foot off the floor, take the other foot off the floor. Now you take one foot off the floor and see if you can come to the tippy toe of the other foot. Now here notice that my shoulder blades are moving down, and if I can, I lift. And release. Yeah, so this is one way to enter crow with the knees on the outside. The other way to do it, which I prefer, and I find that you get a higher lift, but some people find it really painful here on the triceps, because then instead of having the knee on the outside, you're going to have the knee on top of the arm. So the arm becomes a little shelf for you. To enter that pose, it is easier, instead of coming from Malasana, is to come from standing forward bend. And you're going to try to position the knee. The higher you can position on your arm, the better. Like even if you can place the knee on the armpit, it is going to make it easier for you. But you have to have a good forward fold for that. If you are here, you still need to work a little bit on the forward fold. It's better to enter from here. Yeah? So, placing the hands, we walk closer, closer. Take the heels off the floor and position the knees on the armpit if you can, or high enough here on the arm. And then we swing, we shift the weight forward. Take one foot, take the other foot, keeping the gazing forward. If you can, touch your toes. And release. Yeah, so you can try this both. Now, a little tricks for you to do if you're still not there. So the first thing that you can try is to start having your feet higher. So I'm going to use these two blocks here. You can use anything like a little bricks. So I'm going to stand here. And this for whatever version you want to do, knees out or knees on top of the arms. It means that you have less to lift. You're going to be already much higher. And then you place the hands. Because I'm already high here, I just need to take the foot off the floor. It requires less core strength to lift from here. And then you see that my feet are pointed. I don't leave my foot lazy like this. Yeah, I have to point. Now, as I said, fear has a big part in this. So sometimes your fear is that you're going to hit the head on the floor. Placing a cushion in front of you, it will eliminate that fear, and you might find it much easier. It's the same way that we use the wall for headstands. Sometimes you don't have to touch the wall, but just making sure that it's there, it makes it easier for you to lift. Here is the same, making sure that you're not going to hit the face on the floor can make a difference. So you can place the cushion there. Now I can fall. If I fall, I will hit my head here, and it's not going to be painful. Yeah? Another thing that you can do is to place a block, and you're going to put your head here. So we do the opposite. You can still have this. We come here. I like to put the chin, yeah, because remember you're looking forward. So you lean forward, place the chin, lift. And then I will work on taking the chin off. Yeah? Keep practicing. With arm balances, the thing is, it seems impossible when you start, because it's like you're acting against gravity. But with practice, one day, like this, it happens. So I will show you a couple of advanced variations, if you already have a good crow. So the first thing that we teach, for the students that are stable in crow pose, is how to jump back into Chaturanga. So you are here in your crow, very stable. Notice that my arms are bent, so they are already in position for Chaturanga. I'm looking a little bit ahead. I will just swing the legs back. And then I can move through a vinyasa. The most common thing to happen in this movement is that students will hit the knees on the floor because there is not enough engagement in the core to send the legs back. But it's usually an incorrect approach in your intention. So if your intention is to send the legs back, you will most likely hit the knee on the floor. You need to have the intention to send your legs up. They are not going to shoot up unless you are very strong, but then they're going to go straight back. Yeah? And also the arms, you don't have to attempt to push the arms straight because they are already bent in position for Chaturanga. If you have a very advanced crow, actually you're going to be doing crow with the arms extended, and that is a little bit different because as you push back, you're going to land in plank. But if you are here, then we are with the arms in the position for Chaturanga. If your body is not understanding the instructions to do this, it might have the strength, but it doesn't understand what it has to do here in the core. You can practice keeping the toe on the floor here, and you just practice to jump from here. Yeah? So your core will understand what it has to do to send the legs back. And a last variation that I want to show you is to do a side crow. That's why we did the little twist. So you're going to set up, but instead of facing forward, you're going to turn to the side. And we're going to place the hands here. Yeah, so you have to create a little shelf with your arms for your hips. So on one side, your knee will be on top of one arm. On the other side, your hip has to come on top of this arm. If the hip doesn't come here and you have enough arm strength, you can still do it, but it means that your body will be hanging on the air, so you need to have a lot of strength in the arms. So we twist, lean forward, create that shelf, and take the foot off the floor. So you can stay here. For the full pose, we extend the legs. See that I'm looking ahead, I'm not looking down. And release. Yeah? For an easier variation, there is a variation called Fallen Angel that you can actually then bring the head to the floor and then you lift the leg up. It is going to make it easier. So you set up the same way, find that shelf, but then come with the head on the floor. Yeah? And then you extend one leg forward, the other leg will come up. And release. Try the other side as well. I'm not going to demonstrate the other side, but you should try the other side. So press the pause button, try to do it the other side. And then as you come back, we're just going to lie on the floor, on the mat, hug the knees in, extend the arms over the head here. You can grab hold of one wrist and the other and give yourself a big stretch if your arms feel tired. And then hug the knees in. Swing from side to side. Good work. So the work that we did in the previous class, especially the core work, are going to help you a lot in arm balances because it seems that most of the weight are going on the hands, on the arms, but if you have the core strength to do this, it makes it much lighter in the arms. So take a deep breath in and exhale, slowly release the legs down, extend the arms. Close your eyes, relax the whole body. In Savasana, relax the shoulders. It might take you a little bit longer to relax the top part of the body today because we used a lot of the arms. If you're experiencing any mild shaking on the arms and on the hands, it's okay. You just let it go as you work with the breath, because we did a lot of work with arms today. So take a deep breath in and allow the exhale to come naturally. And see if you can go to the bottom of the exhale when all the air leaves your body, and without straining or without forcing. When you feel the need to inhale, then you inhale. And again, exhale. To the bottom. Release control of your breath. And stay in Savasana for as long as you need. Take good rest. Take good care of yourself. I will leave you here for today. See you soon. Namaste.